Buongiorno everyone. Today I'm inviting you to embark on a transformative journey that will change your perspective of a privilege and inspire to perhaps enrich yourself and embrace your own culture for once in a positive way. I'm gonna talk about all this from the perspective of my culture, the Italian one, and it's a journey that spans culture, language, fun, and profound personal growth that should change your entire perspective of what's going on in America. As I believe that the war on culture that you have in America is a war that is separating you guys rather than having you embrace your roots. And I believe it's wrong. I believe it's messed up. I believe what is making you a worse society. And here's the fun thing. In a society as an American one, always focus on hyper-individualism and consumerism. There is a misconception that privilege is solely an American thing, an American discourse. And you know exactly which kinds of privileges we're talking about because they're out there on media every single day. But what if I told you that privilege actually transcends nationality and embracing your own culture? That is the true privilege. People that embrace their culture as the fullest extent and use it as the proper advantage point. And it has nothing to do with the way you look and who you are. It is simply about embracing where you come from, such as embracing my Italianity. And I believe that being Italian is a true privilege to the fullest extent, and it doesn't have nothing to do about human beings and superiority complexes and this. It's just about a mix of things that make us truly Italian, which is a true privilege for us, especially if we use it in a land such as America. Italy is a land of history, art, culture, exquisite cuisine. No wonder you have a pizza place in America in every neighborhood. Has given to the world Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Galileo Galilei. The entire law system is based on the Italian Roman one. It's a place where passion and tradition come together, shaping a unique way of life. And here is where the true privilege of Italianity comes from, and what we're gonna discuss today. To give you an example on why you should embrace your own culture, to make your life better and to escape from the numbers that you normally see in the United States. While many Americans debate privilege from just a mechanical societal point of view, they often tend to overlook profound advantages about cultures in Europe, in my case Italian cultures, that put people from Europe moving to America in a better position. Because for us, it's not about wealth and material status, it's about heritage, that enriches every single aspect of our life and makes it so much simpler and enjoyable to live. For example, in Italy, we cherish family and community bonds and celebrate togetherness. The sense of community is what permeates throughout our entire lives. It's about cherishing family bonds and finding joy in simple pleasures together as a community. It's not about me. It's about us. Bringing everybody up like a rising tide. It's not just a concept, it's a way of life. Embracing this heritage as an Italian family moving to America is what allows us to infuse a more, let's say, material society, still with some warmth. That's why we still operate very well as a family community, as Italians and Europeans and many other cultures that think this way. And by doing this in America, we operate in a good and healthy way in a society that promotes also meritocracy. So we operate as individuals, but knowing that we got family. Unlike many young Americans, by operating as a family unit, it allows us to grow as a group, psychologically and financially. We'll also be in a position to take risks, knowing that our family, no matter your social class, even the poor do it in Italy, has your back. And most of all, this whole community concept also helps us to have purpose throughout our entire lives. Knowing that you are taken care of, whichever social class you're part of, releases a lot of anxiety to our people. And knowing that you have to take care of your parents once they got old, after they took care of you when you were young, gives you meaning and purpose of life, which in many studies about longevity is one of the reasons why people in some countries, such as Italy, live so much longer. Because purpose gives you the energy to live longer, because you have a purpose to live long. And this is a major structural piece of Italian society and culture, and why I believe Italians, especially when they move as a group, as a family to the United States, are privileged on that perspective, no matter their social class. But this is the basics. Let's talk about art, music, architecture. All this is woven in Italian society. The ability to revel in this architectural and cultural richness is a privilege beyond measure that Italians have. The fact that you're being born into this art. In my case, living in Rome enables you to learn, live, and see history on a daily basis. In my case, I was living in one of the cities that influenced modern society the most, and I was living it every single day. Without even realizing, I learned the history of politics, of art, of construction, philosophy, architecture, and much more by simply going on a date in an art gallery, meeting the historical families of Rome, because we still have a lot of live families still living today that come from ancient Rome. Simply going to clubs in Italy, in some of historical buildings, and just walking through Rome, which is an open-air museum. You learn a lot without even realizing, and this privilege is mostly just for us or for other cultures that have this amount of history. And all this is happening without the need of opening a computer and Googling stuff and learning. You learn by just going around, reading something, talking to people, because we live the history on a daily basis, which gives a big edge to the average Italian. So as we engage in the conversation about privilege by other cultures living in America, let's broaden our perspective. This is not about pitting one nationality over another. Instead, it's about appreciating the uniqueness of your own culture and what it offers. Embracing a heritage isn't just a source of pride. It's a profound privilege that transcends borders. Everybody knows about Italian food, everybody knows about Ferrari, Lamborghini, all these brands. A lot of international, let's say, society knows a lot about Italy. But let's add a fun twist, and this is where stuff gets really important to me. Italian stereotypes, pizza, pasta, mafia, cheating, love, romance, everything. Italians are often associated with being passionate, gesticulating wildly as I'm doing throughout this whole video, and having an undying love for pasta. Instead of shying away from those cliches, I tend to use them as funny conversation starters. The magic here, and this is something that many Americans fail to understand, is that stereotypes, both good and bad, when used in a light-hearted, ironical way, especially by yourself towards others, I'm talking about the stereotypes about your own culture, can be bridges to connect with people and to connect with diverse people. Using these playful stereotypes as conversation starters enabled me to connect with people in ways I never imagined. And speaking with an Italian accent, it's like weaving a spell. People become curious immediately, drawn to the melody of the language, creating an immediate sense of intrigue and connection. We do it naturally because we know the effect it has on people. Some people make it even stronger. I do it on purpose sometimes. And connecting it and using it with those stereotypes that people have, in this case about Italians, both negative and positives, in an ironic way, allows me to drop the defensive armor, the defensive social armor that people have, and connect with them super quick, making me more likable and making people more comfortable about how much they can open up. I noticed that Americans are so prideful in their roots and their different cultures, because America is a country made by immigrants, that rather than using their stereotypes to their advantage like we Italians do in a very ironical way, they use it as a defense mechanism. They get triggered, they go protective, and it's very interesting to watch. I am very aware that Italians are seen as mafia, cheating lovers, criminals due to movies like The Godfather. However, introducing myself as, "Hi, I'm Italian, you know, like pizza, pasta, and mafia," with a questionable expression and movement of hands, have probably been between my most effective ways of introducing myself to new people in America, breaking the ice and allowing for more profound conversations. By playfully leaning into these stereotypes, we can connect with others in a way we never imagined and make a true statement about ourselves. And that's one thing that Americans, I believe, have to learn properly, especially young Americans. Speaking of making a statement, let's talk about style, which today I don't have because I didn't find the jacket I needed. Italians are renowned for an impeccable sense of fashion, and I adopt this style not only as clothing, but specifically as a statement on a daily basis. We're taught since young age that dressing good is a sign to respect not only yourself, but a sign of respect towards others and the society out there. We're also taught that you never know what happens in life, and you should always be ready to seize the opportunity. You never know who you're gonna meet. If you're dressed up good, people take you more seriously. During job interviews, I always dress nice and impeccably, sometimes better than the CEOs. And the main thing is, because I was used to it, I was very comfortable in doing it. I see many young people putting a suit and they're like, "What have I on? This is not comfortable." The more you do it, the more you're comfortable. Dressing Italian, putting up my culture, dressing with Italian style, not only made me stand out, in most cases I believe made me trump the competition in high-stakes scenarios, not only interviews, but also work situations. I believe that in some cases, even when I did not have the full skill set as other candidates, it enabled me to have the edge over them, just because I made made a statement without even speaking. Imagine walking in a room, dressed in essence of elegance, exploding in confidence because you're used to it, and leaving a lasting impression without even speaking a single word. It's not just fashion, it's a language that speaks volumes. And on top of that, it is true to our culture. This is a big privilege that we have as Italians. We're being taught to dress up nicely even at a young age, and it helps a lot in society, especially when we go in international, let's say, markets such as the American one. But with dressing up gone away, let's explore the interesting environment of accents, particularly when speaking Italian, but many other cultures have this too, and we're very proud of it. There's something truly magical about the way accents spark curiosity in people in America, and especially connection, transforming us into intriguing storytellers. The Italian language, with its poetic nuances, became a bridge connecting me with people from different backgrounds, just because of the way I spoke. Embracing my accent wasn't just about speaking, it's about sharing a piece of my heritage, inviting others into a world of traditions and emotions. With all its musicality, my Italian created an immediate sense of authenticity. It opened conversations that went beyond just words. It opened up to harder conversations. Having an accent enabled me to have conversations that more normally Americans would never have, because as being an immigrant, and this is pretty much the signature of a lot of my videos, I'm just an Italian living in America, it enabled me to go deeper with questions, even ask harder ones. And many conversations became cultural exchanges, celebration of diversity, and a testament of the power that you can get by embracing your roots, who you are. Being natural and confident about your accent is key. Don't overdo it. When you speak from the heart, you become magnetic, and I noticed that a lot. Not only me, but even other immigrants from other countries, people that embrace who they are and are not protective about it. They're just prideful and simple and ironic and funny. Those are the people that are happy. Those are the people that are magnetic. Authenticity is universally attractive. That is a fact. Whether discussing art, music, joys of life, politics, whatever, your accent can become a beacon, drawing people in and making you an instant conversation maestro. This whole conversation was given out with the example of my Italianity, but this goes for any kind of culture. Embrace who you are. Don't be scared about it. Be ironical of who you are. Use the negative aspects of who you are to your advantage. If you're ironical, you're dropping the defenses of conversation. You can have conversation on a deeper level, which many people in this country fail to do because they use their culture, their roots as a defensive mechanism, no matter where they are. This video is not just about Italianity, it's about everybody. It is about embracing who you are, not be ashamed of it, not be protective about it, and be ironical about it. Use it to your advantage. Use the emotion of what people say against or towards you to your advantage to start the conversations, and you'll be surprised. It will make your life much easier, it will make you much happier, and it will enable you to create true connections because it makes people feel comfortable and it makes you truly authentic in who you are. Grazie for joining me today, celebrating the diverse privileges of different cultures with the example of the Italian one, and empowering you to embrace your roots, to make meaningful connections with people from everywhere. Arrivederci a tutti and be authentic.